Into T2T Titles After Dark. This is episode number 8, talking week 8 NFL. I'm Nate. You can find me on Twitter at Nate_Dirt19. And we got a special guest tonight. I guess I'll just introduce you first. We're joined by one of my long time friends, Mr. Justin Stevens. You can find him on Twitter. I think it's Justin_FF. Is that right?
Yep, at JustinFF_.
Thanks for joining us tonight, pal. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. Kind of found out last minute that you need some help, and had so much fun last time I filled in. So I figured, you know what, let's give it a second round and see if I can get invited for a third time. I was in such a hurry when I found out that didn't even put pants on for this episode, and I was like, you know what? From what I hear, it's T2T After Dark. So it's probably, if anything, encouraged and going to help the numbers a little bit. Am I right, Rich?
Hey, don't make me stand up.
I can't be the only one, right?
Cheers.
Hell yeah. And of course, Mr. Rich, you can find him on Twitter, Frito_FF. What's up, pal?
Hey, I am doing great. I didn't know if I was actually going to put this on to celebrate my National Heritage Month, but look, it's Halloween. It's the episode beforehand and stuff like that, but it's a beautiful week that I really got to rant, and you guys might understand based off maybe you saw the documents of what I got posted in there, but yeah, all I can say is teabag.
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah, you sure did, man. You guys definitely took one on the chin.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something else. Made that guy look like I'm gonna put him in Canton next week. So you can find the show on Twitter at T2T Titles. Check out our website if you haven't done that already, T2TTitles.com. All of our articles, mock drafts, player rankings, everything we do is on there. Check it out, please. I know Coach's Dudes and Does dropped this morning, I believe. Rich and Jason's rankings will drop tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
And then the IDP article, like 3 up, 3 down, or whatever, is that drops tomorrow too? I think. I can't remember. I had it on. I should have remembered more, but anyways, it's up there too. So, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe. We would appreciate that, and throw some comments in there too if you feel like it. And last thing before we get going, if you want to get with the team, discuss all of our stuff, NFL, fantasy football, college football, whatever we talk about, you want to talk about in our Gilded chat, it's free to join. Check it out. You can hit me up, Rich, Justin, anybody on the team will get you in. So, and that being said, we also this month, the month of November, we're doing a Yeti cooler giveaway. And part of that is joining our Gilded chat, subscribing to our YouTube, a couple other steps that Justin can hopefully fill me in on.
Yep, and you even mentioned it to me, and I still forgot to have it pulled up and ready to go. But all you have to do is join the title tribe on Gilded. And again, just like Nate said, contact any of us. If we can't send you the link to the invite, we can at least send you to the guy who can. So you have to join the Gilded. This is a Yeti cooler, guys. So trust me, most of everything that we're telling you here is all free. To enter is even free, really. The only way that it costs a little bit of money is if you wanted to join our Patreon at patreon.com/toilets-to-titles. And if you do that, then for every tier that you enter in, you get an extra entry into this Yeti. But anyway, outside of joining the Patreon and getting the extra perk of the extra entries, you got to join the title tribe Gilded channel, which, like I said, we can do that for you for free. Just reach out to us. You have to subscribe right here on YouTube. If you're watching this, you're already watching, you go ahead and hit that subscribe. At least make sure that you are subscribed, and maybe even go ahead and hit that little notification bell so you know when we're going live. That one's not a requirement, but we prefer it. And then complete the 3-word phrase. We have 1 word of a 3-word phrase that will be spoken on the following episodes. And these are our T2T flagship main shows, I do believe, on November 7th, November 14th, and November 21st. So those 3 nights when we go live, you want to stay tuned in because we're going to be giving away one word of the 3-word phrase in each of those episodes. Then you're going to email the phrase to toilets-to-titles@gmail.com. then we're going to need you to comment on each of the 3 episodes. Just drop a little comment in there, just something like a little hint, like, "Hey, I got it," or it's not going to be the last team that T-Bag gets, or whatever. We don't care what the comment is. Just
Give
throw
me the Yeti.
Yeti. There you go. The winner will be announced on the 11/28 episode. We're going to do the random wheel spinner that we do. We're going to throw all the entries on there, spin the wheel, and the winner is going to get this nice Yeti. And if the winner is somebody that is also a Patreon, and if I win the spooky squares, because Coach still has about 15 or 20 spooky squares left. If you've ever played Super Bowl squares, it's like that, only it's for a game on October 30th that's going on.
Raiders
$5,
game.
The Raiders game, yeah, Rich's Raiders game. It's a $5 per square, and if you or if I win that square, then I will. I'm going to send you $30 of that money, so that you can fill this Yeti up if you win the Yeti. So we got all that going for us. So again, patreon.com/toilets-titles and get your extra entries in that way as well.
All of the info for that is on our Twitter. It's been posted a couple times too. So because that's where I had to look the other day because I forgot some of the stuff. Because
where it's easily posted and you get it and you see it all the time is come join our Gilded.
Yeah. That'd be a good place to do it too.
Or also, if you want, you can screenshot this right here. So go back, hit rewind if you miss it, but screenshot this right here and make sure you go through and just check it off your list.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
You're going to enjoy this cooler. I got one. It's pretty sweet. So I won mine too. It was nice. So anyways, let's get into the good stuff. Well, not the good stuff, I guess. Some little bit of news kind of from week 7 into week 8. I think was that yesterday we heard that Brock Purdy started suffering concussion symptoms on the plane ride home.
I heard it early this morning. It might have happened.
Maybe it was this morning. I think you're right. Now that you say that.
I mean, doing your job, it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much just you don't know when. It's either light out or dark out. That's about it. So it was starting to thunderstorm earlier, and I was just waiting for the phone to ring, but nothing yet. So, yeah. So that's not good. If Sam Darnold's going to be the starter, I mean, I don't know. That's better than a lot of guys' backups, I guess. But we'll see how things go for them.
Yeah,
they looked like shit against the Vikings. They made Kirk Cousins look like goddamn the best quarterback to ever play football. So,
so definitely they could go from the team to beating 3 weeks in a row just like that. Yeah. And I mean, we said on TGIF, I believe last week, George stated that there was some stat where any player that had concussion type symptoms or had a concussion injury during the game, only 20% of them actually played the next week so far this season. And so, I mean, now most of those are quarterbacks because, teams are more likely to look away and sign them off if they're a quarterback, a major position. But even still, 20% is not a good number.
No, and it's Wednesday, and, that's not very far. I guess if on the flight home would have been the other night, but still, not good for the Niners. We'll see what Darnold can do. Maybe he can, he wasn't always horrible where he's been. But he's, we'll see what happens. I thought this was wild. Kyler Murray, full participant today at practice. I have been on a hill for a while saying he's not going to play this year because he doesn't want to be there. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why the Cardinals would rush him back. Like he's got like injury money in there. So if he gets hurt, he's getting paid more anyways. Like, I don't think I'd be rushing him back. I know they've played decent for 40 minutes a few times, but I don't know. It's wild to me. We'll see what happens, I guess. But, you guys think he's going to get out there and do some stuff or what?
I think so. I mean, look, is it because of the fact that Joshua Dobbs is playing decent and maybe he's afraid a little bit?
No, he knows he's better than Dobbs. I mean, Dobbs is doing his best.
Or does he want to get out there and win some games so they ain't in the Caleb Williams hunt? There's all kinds of things you could say. Maybe he got bored of playing Call of Duty for all I know.
So I was kind of in the camp of the Cardinals if they started off like 1-5 like they are, or 1-6, whatever it is, I don't know if they've had their bye week yet. I believe it's 1-6, but anyway, if they started off with one win like this or even less, then they were probably going to continue to keep Murray out of it just so they could go for that first pick and get some competition with Caleb Williams, or have really good draft stock in that number 1 pick that they could trade off. But we keep getting closer and closer, and as you said, he's a full start in practice, or a full go in practice. So I mean, like, I don't know. As on the players' end, he's a player. He wants to play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna want to play. Yeah. You know, business is business. Whatever. He'll find a job real easily if Caleb Williams is there. But at the same time, just like Rich said, I don't get what the perk is on the business end from the organization themselves, unless they're trying to show that he is back, is so that they can have some kind of trade value in him this offseason, maybe.
The only issue, I think, and I don't know if it's on here or not, but like, nobody's taking that contract. That's the problem. You know what I mean? They didn't even have to pay him. I don't know who, you know, it was wild that I think it was Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler had the same agent. You know, that was kind of wild back then when they made that deal. You know, that's what is going to be hard for them to get out of. So.
Yeah, but on that end, if they do end up drafting Caleb Williams or even another really good rookie, then they're paying that rookie on a rookie contract, and it's dirt cheap. They can pick up a lot of that cost of that contract when they ship them off. Yeah, I mean, and teams have been known to do stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I think the Cardinals even paid their last coach for like 2 seasons after they fired him.
Yeah, pretty sure that's a solid move. You know, that's worth getting the job and just getting fired. Like, hell, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll take the money.
I do it all the time and don't even get extra money.
Right? Yeah. Chris Olave got arrested last night, I think, going like 135 or something. What a dipshit. Like, come on, dude.
135? I thought
no. I think he was going like 70, but he was in a 35 speed limit.
What?
Yeah. That's why this movie was so ridiculous.
I thought that's still stupid, but I thought he was going like 130.
Yeah, have you seen the video too? Video when
where he's like, I'm on the Saints, and the cop's like, I don't care.
Yeah, he's like, and
I wonder if the NFL is going to be more like after the Ruggs deal. Like, are they going to be like, hey, you know, you're getting? I mean, it's obviously it is way different, but still, you know, it's being done in a car. You know, if he'll get a suspension or not, I guess we'll find out. So I was happy to see Kareem Jackson got suspended finally. I talked about it Sunday night on Lambeau Leap. Him knocking Luke Musgrave out and getting ejected was his third big hit like that this year. He had one in week 1 and week 2. He's been fined $90,000 already, and it was a 4-game suspension. Got knocked down to 2, but at least something. I mean, we don't need that shit. You don't need to be going fucking helmet to helmet just for the hell of it. So, yeah, get that out of here. But Rich, you want to talk about this bet you got up here? If you can get
so I wanted to bring this up and stuff like that because I mean I know we discuss player props and all that and everything, but week 2 I wanted to kind of discuss. There was an article that came out where this guy placed a $200 bet at plus 20,000, and it was each team scored a 1+ field goal at the 1 p.m. games, 5 p.m. and the 4:25 games for Sunday and everything. So the guy hit won 2 million or 20 million. So I know I thought that was pretty cool when I saw that and everything, and just kind of wanted to bring it up. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
I think I remember seeing that, and that's wild. I mean, like I think Justin said before the show, like I feel like that's not like in your head you're like, oh yeah, that's normal, but there's a lot of games where they don't kick or like make field goals, you know. So
especially with teams.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That's a really big long shot in my mind. I think that's not at all very likely. So to drop $200 on that bet, this is a guy that already has that kind of expendable cash. That's like worse than us being degenerates, right? This is like a guy that already has cash and is dropping $200 on a bet he shouldn't even be placing. And that's when you know you are the goose that's laying the golden bets.
I respect the game. I mean, I'd be like a thing. I'd bet like $1 on that. You know, you know, I can't. I'm not dropping 200.
And you would have won 100. And you would have won $100,000.
Yeah, cool. Sure, you're fine.
We'd never see Nate again.
Oh, no, not true. Not true. Maybe just for a week. I'd just go on a little vacation. Take the wife somewhere.
There you go.
All right. Unless we got any other news to cover, we can get into some fantasy favorites for week 8. Slam and Sammy Howe last week was not as good as I'd hoped. But he's due for a rebound, I think. That's his new nickname, by the way, Justin, if you missed that or not. That's his name now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because he gets slammed to the ground way too many times. He might break the record for sacks. So this week, I like Jalen Hurts against the Washington football team. Hurts has been playing very well. Couple turnovers here and there, but when he needed to score, they will. I think the football team's defense it's not good. I think Hurts will have his way, and AJ Brown just is unreal. So, and I think they'll get back to running the ball a little bit, but I look for Hurts to have a big week. So, Rich.
Yeah. So, you'll see a theme with this as we go through progress and everything, but I am going Jared Goff.
I just now saw the show notes.
Jared Goff versus Las Vegas Raiders. Let me start out by saying Tyson Badgley. I can't pronounce it.
Secret agent
and stuff like that. I can't even pronounce it. Where I'm just going to name him already on the show. Teabag. Well, he teabagged my Raiders last week, and it's kind of like it just falls back to like last year. Okay, the Raiders playing the Baker after he's only been there for 3 days, or we lose to Jeff Saturday and the Colts.
Saturday in the park, dude.
Man, I just don't get it and stuff.
Rich, who's your defensive coordinator out there?
Man, I can't even think of his name. Graham. His last name's Graham. I can't.
So is it him, or is it like, Max Crosby's a dude. Like, you got some good players over there.
Dude, it's not even so much the defense and stuff like that. Now, we're horrible against the run. Passing, we're actually doing pretty good. Crosby is killing and stuff like that. It's just the freaking coach there. Justin, why didn't you guys keep freaking McDaniels?
Well, here's the thing. They hired him. They hired McDaniels, and then he was on the flight, landed in Indy and everything, and then immediately hopped back on another flight and flew away. And I was never happier. That was a very happy moment for true Colts fans that realized that he wasn't the reason that they were succeeding in New England, because once all the video footage stuff came out and he was absolutely busted, that's when he really started to go downhill.
He's a fucking dipshit.
I'm normally not the one to slam my Raiders for how bad they do or anything like that, but I was very disappointed over this weekend and stuff like that.
I was disappointed.
So, 2 things going for Jared Goff.
I think we might have a spy in the chat here, because I don't think any of us are typing this stuff in. I think maybe somebody's looking in on us. So I'm just gonna say hi right now. Appreciate you, whoever you are.
But where I was going is, look, Jared Goff got a couple things going for him. He's playing against the Raiders this week.
Joey,
he just got his teeth kicked in by the Baltimore Ravens,
and he's playing at home. So, fire up Jared Goff, man. Should have a decent game this week.
Hell yeah. Justin, who you got for us?
Okay, so here's the thing. I had forgotten from when I filled in a couple weeks ago that you guys just kind of put down a name in their matchup.
I saw you. I liked all your notes. I was impressed.
None of you guys had posted in here yet when I started, so I got a little carried away. I went with Sam Howell, okay, because I knew that you guys were going to try to go with QB1 guys, because that's what you usually do on this show.
Slamming Sammy Howell.
I'm here for the people. Slamming Sammy Howell.
That's how he's laughing.
So, so the people sometimes need those super flex guys. Now, there are no buys this week, okay? There's no bye weeks for any teams. So that means you have all of the players out there to choose from. That means so does your opponent. So there might be fewer options out there. So super flex league here. Sam Howell's going to have a big game. He's playing against Philadelphia, who's 24th against quarterbacks. The Eagles have made a season out of giving up big fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks, and not even good quarterbacks. Okay. Week 1, y'all remember Mac Jones, right? 24.14 points. First game of the year, his only game with 20 points within the 20-point range or more, and his only 3-touchdown game, and the game that made us feel like Mac Jones could actually be a thing this season. The only game, by the way. Kirk Cousins, 28.56 points in week 2. His only 4-touchdown game on the season was against Philadelphia.
Just wait till this weekend. Kirk will throw at least 5.
Week 3. Well, that's your other guy, right, that you like for this week? Week 3, Baker Mayfield, 10.04 points. This is the only great game that Philadelphia really had on quarterbacks, and as usual, Baker just let me down again. Let's see, Sam Howell, 2 weeks ago, QB 13 overall. That's the number 1 QB for QB2. I'm talking Superflex. I think he can have another big QB2, maybe even low in QB1 week. Matthew Stafford, his only game with more than 1 touchdown on the season. Zach Wilson, that's hard to believe too. Matthew Stafford with those weapons has only had 1 game with more than 1 touchdown pass, and that was against Philadelphia. Zach Wilson, his second most yards in a game this season. Zach Wilson even had a pretty good game by his standards against Philadelphia. And then, of course, Tua this past week. So, and Tua is a good quarterback, so, whatever. But my point is that Phillies defense, sure, they beat Miami. Okay, fine. I ate crow on that on Tuesday night. I'm not even talking about win-loss or what they are on the season, but the Philadelphia Eagles defense does give up points to fantasy quarterbacks, and there's no way to fight that. So you're starting Sam Howell this week.
Hell yeah. I like running back wise. I like Isaiah Pacheco going against the Broncos. They even let the Packers look like they could run the goddamn football. So, if you can make AJ Dillon look good, Isaiah Pacheco is going to look like a dog against the Broncos defense. So, and I assume, Andy Reid will get tired of running the ball about midway through the second quarter, but you should get some good production for that, 25 minutes until that he just wants to start throwing the ball because they're bored. So I think I like Pacheco to do pretty well and score this week. Just like, last week when I said Smith and Jigba is going to have a good week, he's going to score, boom, right away. I was pretty pumped. So, Rich, I like this. I like how we're going here.
I like that one a lot too. So at running back, if I think it's fair to say if Deontay Foreman, who scored 3 touchdowns against the Raiders last week, the Raiders gave up 173 rushing yards. So I love to fire my man Jamar Gibbs up against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think Montgomery might be out another week. He's trending to being out and stuff like that. So another good start for Gibbs against my hopeless Raiders that look like crap. And you know what? Jamar Gibbs might end up teabagging the Raiders this week too.
When's Mark Davis going to come down and just start coaching? That sweet haircut, get down on the field and start coaching.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not really sure on that. And it might be better than Josh McDaniels.
What do you got, Justin?
Austin Eckler. Okay, so I've heard a lot about Austin Eckler this week. I've even heard from a few analysts saying that he's just a disappointment this year and that he's just not panning out. Here's the thing, he was coming off of an injury. He's been injured. He did well before his injury, and I don't see any reason why he's not going to continue to do well. Everybody has a bad game from time to time. I don't look into last week all too much. It's Austin Eckler. He's playing against the Chicago Bears, which are 27th against running backs this week. And again, did I mention that it's Austin Eckler? So He's going to get PPR points out of the backfield. He's going to get rushing yard. And I get, sure, Kelly has played well in his stead when he's not been around, but he's around. He's back, homies. We're starting Austin Eckler.
Hell yeah. Just like Justin with the Chargers, I'm starting Keenan Allen against the Bears. I know, like I said, he's kind of a no-brainer to start, but I just think he'll have a big week. Against that, the defense, I guess they looked like they were great last week, but they're not. So
they were playing inspired for T-Bag.
That's right. I look for Hair Bear and the boys to do work, and then Brandon Staley to try to lose the game. So, like normal. Rich?
Yeah, so receiver. Shocker, I'm going Amon St. Brown versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
What about Jameson Williams? Do you like both of them?
No. It's just gonna be on Mount St. Brown.
That's all on
That's
me.
who I got right now. I mean, I could have listed a lot more players versus the Raiders and everything, but
Josh Reynolds.
yeah, that Craig Reynolds. I mean, you name
Yeah,
it.
both of them.
Freaking yeah. Amon St. Brown. Look, he's been putting up awesome stats. He got over his little injury stint. Now the Raiders do play pretty decent against the Raiders, so maybe not a stellar performance and everything, but they do got Jared Goff playing. So like I said, he'll get some good yardage. I look for probably about 95 yards on 6 targets and a touchdown, possibly maybe even 2. So I do like Amon this week against my hopeless Raiders.
A little teaser into your rankings. Is he number 1?
Amon St. Brown, actually, no. And stuff. I think I got him ranked at number 7. I'll have to pull those up.
You have to change him, move him up to number 1. Justin, who you got?
Would it be surprising if I had every single Lions player at number 1 at each position?
So I went with the Chargers and Bears game as well, Nate, but I went the other side of the ball with DJ Moore. The Chargers are the worst team in the league against fantasy wide receivers. That's PPR, that's standard, that's half PPR. I guarantee you it's Frankenstein. The Chargers secondary sucks.
Fucking terrible. And Brandon Staley's a defensive guru. You'd think that they would play fucking defense, but they sure don't.
Yeah, he's not even a timeout guru.
That guy's I love fucking ragging on that guy. It's so easy.
Yeah, that's why and I'm chatting with Joe in the chat too about McDaniels. It's like it kills me how there's at least probably 10 coaches in the NFL that don't deserve to be there. Like,
they're fucking terrible.
If they're bad at their job, how are they still getting jobs?
Hey, I say all the time, when somebody shows you who they are, fucking believe them. These guys aren't going to change their ways. They're not going to get better. Just fucking get rid of them. Shit can the fucking guy. Like, it's not worth it.
The only thing I can think of is we know all the owners are super rich. So all the owners have uber amounts of money. Yeah. And these guys probably have something on them. That's all I can think of. But anyhow, that's just hearsay. That's not anything that's been substantiated. We didn't read this in the Times or anything. Allegedly, that's the word. DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a maniac. DJ Moore is a great wide receiver, and I don't want to hear any more argument because, like I said it all offseason, DJ Moore is quarterback proof. Now here he is sitting as the fantasy wide receiver 6 right now in most leagues, in most formats. Stop ragging on DJ Moore, guys. He's a 1,000-yard receiver and a double-digit touchdown maker with crap quarterbacks his entire career. All right. So I don't care if it's Teabag. I don't care if it's Fields. I don't care if it's Nate on a rainy day out there. DJ Moore is going to get his. No offense, Nate.
All right. So real quick before we jump into our tight ends. Right?
What's that?
You're talking Nate Peterman. They're back.
Yeah, Nate Peterman. That was it. Yeah.
I almost rather have Nate Peterson right now for the Raiders back over there. So real quick in the chat, Chris Borke, I'm going to go with, I apologize if I butchered that. Need help, boys. Start 2 PPR. Zach Moss, Miles Sanders, Dotson, or Elijah Moore. Justin, who you got?
Need 2. You need 2. God. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting start-sit questions. I'm going to have to look at the schedule here because I haven't gotten super deep into it. But right now I see Elijah Moore is playing Seattle. I don't hate that matchup.
It's PJ Walker.
What's that?
PJ Walker's the quarterback again.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair, I guess. Zach Moss keeps losing touches to JT, but I still think he's going to be heavily involved enough, and him being a running back helps. But they're also against New Orleans. Tough matchup. He is a running back.
As good as you guys looked against the fucking Browns defense, I'm starting Zach Moss. You have to. Even though he's splitting carries, I'm still starting him. I can't start Miles Sanders.
Well, see, I was going to say I'm kind of leaning Miles Sanders here.
No, I can't do it.
I mean, he's playing Houston. That's the only big reason. Which, by the way, that's rookie quarterback versus rookie quarterback, so that should be ugly.
Stroud's been dealing.
What's that?
Stroud's been dealing.
Yeah, I guess, but his numbers have been depreciating here lately. Like he's not playing as well as his start.
It's time for it to go like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Dotson is intriguing. He's just not. He's not Curtis Samuel's getting all the targets right now. So
yeah,
I'm going to go with the running backs here, and I hate to do it, but they're running backs, so running backs get the tie for me.
I think I agree. I have a hard time starting Dotson. It's been like Justin said, Samuel's getting all the catches there or the targets, and I don't want to start Miles Sanders, but if he's gonna have a good week, it's got to be this one. I mean, Frank Reich just needs to start running the ball more because Bryce Young's gonna get killed. So I like the running backs as well. Rich.
Yep, and I'll finish it out by saying Zach Moss and Miles Sanders too. Look, Sanders is coming off a bye. He didn't play the week before because of an injury, but he should be healthy enough to get the start here. So I do like Miles Sanders. And like I said, look, I could easily maybe go more over Zach Moss, but I'm going to go running backs here in this situation and agree with you guys on that.
And if he wants more advice on Sunday morning, he can meet up with Rich and George and Jason and possibly me. You never know what mood I'm in, or if I wake up in time. Sunday mornings from 10:30 to 12:30 for their Sunday morning start sit show called Title Time. So you get the advice of other guys too. And maybe Rich will change his mind by then. You never know. Something might happen this week. You have updated information.
Sure.
Where are we at? You just talked about DJ Moore, right?
Tight ends.
Tight ends. I like Dalton Schultz. Sorry, I call him Dutch. Against Panthers. I think he scored like the last 2 weeks in a row, maybe, at least. He's been a pretty solid target for CJ Stroud. So I like him to continue that. The Panthers, they're a fucking train wreck. I don't know when they're going to win a game, if they win a game.
Houston this week.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe this is the week. I don't know. I like Schultz. I like him to score. So, Rich.
I am going from a team. If you haven't heard yet, the Detroit Lions is playing the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday Night Football. I am going Mr. Sam Laporta. I like for him to have a huge game. Now, with that being said, the Raiders do cover tight ends pretty good too, and stuff. They held Mr. Cole Kmet to very minimal options and stuff like that. But this rookie Sam Laporta is no joke.
Awesome.
He's been golf's second man to Amon St. Brown, maybe even his first man to a certain degree and everything, because he has really been performing for a rookie. And it's very rare that you see rookies come in at the tight end position and do what he's doing.
And Rich still has the Raiders winning by 2 on Monday night. Hey man, I appreciate the fact that you're still repping the gear. You know, it's not going to phase you. You're still a fan. I like that.
No, I am and stuff like that. But I had to pull the Nate out this week and everything. And you know, if we really wanted to, I could really pull my picture up and everything.
Wait, I'm not burying anybody right now. This is Rich. You want to bury somebody? I'm all about burying my own team. You know, that's what I'm here for. There's nothing better.
Well, I normally don't and stuff like that, but and to be, I'm not really.
All right.
I'm not going R-rated like Nate usually does on his team and everything. So I am being a little professional about it.
It's just raw emotion is what it is. You know, I love them that much. They tear me apart. Who you got for tight end, Justin?
I got Jake Ferguson. Cowboys tight end against the Rams. The Rams, 25th against tight ends, but even more prevalent than that is that the fans understand. On Tuesday night's flagship show with John, I forget who it was, but I believe it was one of our Patreons. Were in the chat, and Coach was talking about Ferguson, and the dude just typed in, "Yeah, our team sucks against tight ends." So it was pretty funny. But I went back and looked. They're not getting better. Like, they're progressively getting worse against tight ends. Jake Ferguson is finally starting to come into his own this season.
Yep.
And unlike the beginning of the season, he's finally starting to catch the ball in the red zone area instead of dropping them. So that's helping a lot with his fantasy points. It's funny how that works.
Believe it or not,
Ferguson is a big go for me this week in just about all the leagues I have him.
Hell yeah. I like that. I got him in a couple leagues, so he's been, like you said, getting a lot better as we've gone on. So
yeah, we weren't going any more depth as far as who we're going to. But so I do have 2 more players that I want to make sure that we bring out, because man, if you really want a lot of fantasy points this week, I'm serious. I started out with Jared Goff, Jamar Gibbs, Amon St. Brown, Sam Laporta, all against my Las Vegas Raiders. But I do have 2 other players that I want to do. And shocker, Riley Patterson, the kicker against the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Detroit Lions defense against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Fire them all up. I mean, if we could put punters in there, I'd probably put the punter in too.
I'm looking for the prop for Aiden Hutchinson to get. I bet his sack total's like 1.5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, hey, IDP Aiden Hutchinson. Let's fire this bad boy up. He's gonna be trying to compete against freaking Max Crosby and stuff like that. Who's gonna be the best end and stuff like that. So freaking start everybody against the damn Las Vegas Raiders this week. Man. I'm about to go freaking crazy, man.
I can't let you get away with that, man. You can't slander Max Crosby. That boy, he'll still get his, but everybody else I agree with.
Well, if you remember, I did state last week on Wednesday and probably on our Sunday show that Max Crosby will probably outproduce everybody on the whole damn defense and everything, and he basically did. So
yeah, they could play 11-on-1 with Max Crosby and still probably get the same outcome.
Yeah. Yep. Rich, tell me your DFS lineup. Actually, before we do that, I do want to mention a couple things. First of all, join unravel.com/title tribe. I haven't been there the last 2 weeks because of work. So Rich has been filling in for me with Justin on Friendly Fire, which drops Saturday afternoons. Check that show out. Check out Rival Fantasy. It's a blast. We all play each other, send challenges everywhere. You can bet on teams now, like fantasy teams and season-long leagues. There's bingo. It's a blast. Check the show out. Justin, you want to talk about it all before I get going more?
Yeah, so I was actually reading the comments, but yeah, you're talking about join Rival, obviously, but this is a little shot at me, so I had to pull it up.
I like it.
It makes it's more dark in my soul than it is on the show right now. So you're right, Chris. Yeah, absolutely. I was deflecting. I like to deflect my negative energy to my fellow fans in mourning, the Packers and the Raiders.
Yeah. Fucking miserable.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. Actually, I was going to mention Join Rival a little bit later as well whenever you guys do your betting lines, because I came up with something creative for the peeps.
Well, we'll just keep going.
It's all right. Joinrival.com/title tribe. I'd feel bad if I did it now and then somebody logged out before then. So
okay.
Joinrival.com/title tribe. Your first deposit of up to $200 is matched. Plus, you'll get an additional $25 just for using that link right there. Joinrival.com/title tribe. Bunch of creative ways for the new evolution in fantasy sports betting. And one of those creative ways I'm going to talk about in just a moment.
Hell yeah. And check out our Patreon, like we talked about earlier. Yeti Cooler giveaway. Get you a couple extra entries if you join our Patreon, patreon.com/towards-titles. 6 different tiers right now, $1.50 a month. I mean, people go to Starbucks and spend $10 a day. So what's $1.50, right? So
exactly.
Got questions? Check it out. Like I said, a lot of cool stuff we do. The waiver wire episode, some other stuff for the Patreons, a lot of giveaways. Yeah, it's a good time. So, all right, Rich, onward and upward.
All right, man. DFS lineup of the week. For me, I'm starting Kenny Pickett at a cheap 4,900 playing against the Jacksonville defense. I'm going, Justin mentioned him, Austin Eckler. I am playing him at 8,300. I was paying up on him because I did go cheap at QB and other positions. Jahmyr Gibbs, I mentioned him too against the Las Vegas Raiders and stuff like that. If Montgomery's out, look, he's going to feast on the against the Raiders. Brandon Ayuk is going to have a bounce back game after not being the number one receiver we wanted him to be last week for Monday Night Football. He was at 7,000. To pair up with Kenny Pickett, I'm going Deontay Johnson. Look, this is going to be a second game back from coming off an IR. I look for him to really kind of step in and take over as the lead receiver, and he always gets tons of targets and everything, so I like him a lot. Now, this past Monday night, Jordan Addison had a huge game and everything and stuff like that. I look for Osborne against the Green Bay to kind of have not maybe Addison kind of game last week, but I look for him to be the number one option this week as they try to double team Addison and everything. So I took Osborne at 4,700. Michael Mayer against Detroit. That's the only player I'm playing because he is cheap at 2,900, and it gave me the option to go with Eckler, Gibbs, and even Mr. Travis Etienne Jr. against Pittsburgh at 7,200. And then I like Seattle defense against Cleveland. If PJ Walker is the QB, look, I like the opportunity for them to get that. Defense has been opportunity as far as picks, fumble recoveries against some of these teams they've been playing against.
Yeah, for sure. I like it. I like that Seahawks defense. Should have a pretty good weekend. I like Lamar Jackson. I've been saying it for a couple weeks now. MVP this year. So I think that continues in Arizona this weekend. He's just been on a tear. He's expensive, 8,100, but I got a bunch of cheap guys with him. So Najee Harris, my first running back. It seems like he's getting better as we go. I know their offense still kind of fucking sucks, but he's got to get the ball because he's probably one of the better guys on their offense. So, and I said earlier, I like Pacheco, and then I am taking Jordan Addison because we just keep losing guys. Eric Stokes dressed last week maybe and then didn't and is on the IR again. And Darnell Savage just went to the IR. Jair Alexander, I don't know if he's going to play or not. It's kind of a nightmare. And I think Addison probably has a pretty good day again. I don't think he'll score 2 touchdowns, but probably. Nico Collins, like I said, he has been the number one there. It's kind of wild. He's been playing real well with CJ Stroud. So again, against the Panthers, hopefully that continues. I like Josh Downs again this week. Justin was beating the drum for him all off season. I was saying it last week, and that worked out well for everybody. So him again, and then Dutch Schultz at tight end, like I said earlier, liked him. And my flex is Puka Nacua. I think it doesn't matter which one of those guys you start, whether it's him or Kupp. He's just cheaper, and I had the money to start him. So I think the Dallas defense is really, really good, but Stafford's playing incredible right now. And then defense, I like the Falcons defense against Titans. Titans stink. Derrick Henry's all they got, and Tajay Spears. And Bill Levis is starting, that dude that puts mayo in his coffee, and he fucking stinks. So,
Bill, we're going Bill.
Hey. Enough with the Will Levis slander. He was one of the guys that I was high on all offseason. I'm excited about Will Levis. I'm excited to see it. Now, he's a rookie. He's going to start off slow. I like the start here. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying kind of take it easy on the guy, because I don't want you to have to eat some crow here in about a year whenever he's a top probably 15 quarterback and looking to move up.
I don't know. My only thing is, Sean Clifford beat him out at Penn State, and he's back up in Green Bay.
Yeah, well.
And he puts mayo in his coffee.
He's already beat out Malik Willis, who was a high draft pick for him.
Now we knew that was going to happen. That guy stinks.
Yeah, I know. Andy's from Liberty. But anyway, I'm just saying.
I know. Hey, I hope it works, because the Titans, they can't really get any worse. There was a stat I heard the other day talking about, I'm not sure why they got rid of A.J. Brown. He has more receiving yards than the entire Titans offense.
That's hilarious.
So, granted, he's had, I don't know how many games in a row where he's over 130 yards or something. That's like comparing, me to AJ Brown, but yeah. Anyways, so you want to go to the favorite?
I got something for you real quick. I know I don't play DFS, so I don't have a DFS lineup.
That's fine.
But what I am going to do is I'm going to take your guys' DFS lineups, and I'm going to play 5 bingo boards off of each one of them. I'm going to play as many of the players that you guys have on your DFS lineups on my bingo board, so I can try to win money off of you guys.
I like that. Maybe it'll work. I hope it works.
And that's at joinrival.com/titletrap.
Yes, and if you watch Saturday, that show that we record tomorrow night, those will be pulled up. You can watch a little bit of that. Check it out.
Yep.
So, first one, I like Texans -3 at Carolina. This is the rookie 1 and 2 battle. We'll see who prevails here. The Texans have played better than anybody thought they'd play. I don't know if it's DeMeco Ryans. I don't know what it is. I know the AFC South has been very weird. There's been some great games. There's been some not so great games. But it's actually the AFC South's been really fun to watch. So,
or if you're the Colts, you've had great games and not so great games all in the same game.
Yeah, it's wild how that works. I was gonna really rip into Shane Steichen. If you want me to later, I will. I won't.
Really?
It's up to you. Yeah,
really. I want to hear it, because I actually love the guy. I love him.
It's not that I don't like him. Just made some questionable calls. Anyways, so that's my first thing. Texans -3 at Carolina. Rich.
Garrett Wilson over 85 and receiving yards. Look, they're on a bye week and everything, and they got a good matchup against the Giants and stuff. Now, the Giants defense ain't that bad, but I do like the opportunity for Garrett Wilson to be over that 85.
The battle from that life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is Joe going to the game? I hope Joe goes to that game.
Joe, are you going to that game?
Joe Namath or our Joe?
Both.
Dude, I hope they're sitting next to each other. Could you imagine that conversation?
That'd be fucking sweet. Hopefully he gets to wear his fucking fur coat.
Oh man, no, he's not going.
Oh, shucks. Hey, we missed a start sit somewhere in here, but
yeah, I got it right here. You want me to pull it up?
I say go ahead. We'll let Justin do his first one, and then we'll do it.
Go ahead.
Do my what?
Your first favorite one you got you had a rival thing you were saying?
Oh yeah. I was just gonna throw out there. I'm gonna give a layup here because I'm so confident in Jake Ferguson. I'm throwing out a layup here for the listeners, not for anybody else that's a T2T person. So calm down, guys. But for the first 3 people that send me a $5 bet, I'm gonna let you have Kelsey, and I'll take Ferguson. You make it a $5 bet, send it to me. That's Justin T2T. And I promise I'll accept the first 3 $5 bets to try to help give you some free money, wink, wink, because I'm that confident in Ferguson this week.
Is Taylor Swift going to be at the game?
Yeah, I was about to say, do you got some insight that Taylor Swift ain't going to be there or something?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's I don't think it's going to matter. I'll say that I don't think it's going to matter so much this week. And not that I'm down on Kelsey. Don't get me wrong. He's playing a divisional opponent that he's torn up many times at Mile High Stadium. But I believe in Ferguson this week. That 1:00 game at Dallas. They're going to be at home against a bad Rams. I don't want to say a bad front seven, but definitely against tight ends they are.
Oh yeah. What's old Bob Trauma got for us?
All right, so Mr. Bob, any hang-up starting Kincaid and James Cook on Thursday? Or should I start Dameon Pierce or the unstoppable Deontay Foreman / Roschon, or find at Taysom Hill, Trey McBride, Logan Thomas as well?
All right, so definitely not Taysom Hill. The big reason why he's been blowing up the last 2 weeks is because Juwan Johnson's been out. There's reports that Juwan Johnson's probably going to be coming back this week. Bare minimum, wait and see if Juwan Johnson's going to play or not, because once he's back, unfortunately, the Saints are going to forget that they have him, and he has a real opportunity to blow up against my Colts this week if they would just give him the ball. Because every time maybe that's why he blows up every time he gets the ball, because they underutilize him so that it is more of a surprise, which I don't understand. If he's on the field, he's getting the ball. But anyway, probably not Trey McBride either. Even as a number 2 tight end, he's had opportunities this season to really step up and fill in and play when given an opportunity. And it's not necessarily he's not stepping up. It's just like they don't even try to throw him the ball. So I don't know if they use him more as a blocking tight end or what, but he doesn't even really get targets when he's in the game. And then Logan Thomas, if these other guys are your options, I don't know how this question really shakes out. Like, are all of these guys who you're trying to choose from for a flex spot?
I think that he can add Hill, McBride, or Logan Thomas, because he said he was going to start Kincaid and James Cook tomorrow, or should he start Dameon Pierce and the running back? It must be like a flex question, kind of, because with the tight ends in there too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If all of these are for one flex spot, then I don't like Logan Thomas over half of those guys. It's 2 flex spots?
Yeah. Or 2 spots. I assume it's 2 flex spots, though.
Oh, okay.
Unless he's wanting to, what he's asking is, should he instead of Kincaid, should he start one of these tight ends?
Right. That's how I'm looking at it, because he says Kincaid and, in all caps, James Cook. Or should I go this route and start one of these guys? That's how I read it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think James Cook is the no-brainer here. And honestly, Deontay Foreman looks like he's back, right? I mean,
right.
Roschon Johnson might be back playing, so it might be more of a running back by committee, because look, they're going to want to give him an opportunity to get some touches.
You would think, right? He's the best running back in that backfield. They never give him the ball. Like, they don't let him play.
Matt Eberflus is a dipshit.
Yeah, he is. I wish. I hope. I really hope on Sunday we get to see Roschon do his thing, because he can pull away any other running back in that backfield.
Let him be quarterback. He was a quarterback his freshman year at Texas.
Do something to get him the ball.
I like Kincaid.
Actually played pretty good this week.
Oh, yeah. I like Kincaid and Dameon Pierce, actually. I don't know. That Tampa run defense can sometimes be really good. Sometimes it's not. But, yeah, I like Dameon Pierce and Kincaid.
Yeah, look, same thing, too. I like Kincaid over all those tight ends, and I like Dameon Pierce. Oh, I don't want to have two players from a Thursday night game from the same team and everything. So that's the one reason why I'm going Dameon Pierce. Look, they're going against the Carolina Panthers, and they're coming off a bye just with the other team. So I like Dameon Pierce over James Cook, but I would start Kincaid over these other options.
And I think my final answer is Dameon and James Cook.
Yeah. Okay. I like Falcons -2.5 versus the Titans. Love his first game, and the Titans just have not. I know their defense is usually good, so I'm sure Ritter will turn it over 2 or 3 times like he has been the last couple of weeks, but they're still winning. So whatever. So, yeah, give me the Falcons getting the points at home. Or, sorry, the favorite at home. I can't talk right today. So, Rich.
Now, if Bijan Robinson doesn't have a pooping episode,
and it doesn't matter.
I do like Bijan Robinson over the 27.5 receiving yards. It almost like that's where he gets more of his hay for pay and everything, because Algier's taking all the rushing attempts. So
why in the fuck are they giving Algier the ball? Like, Bijan's the best guy on the goddamn field. Like, just keep giving him the football. That's so stupid. It's like when Frank Reich would take the ball out of Jonathan Taylor's hands. Like, play the guy that's good. Yeah. I don't know. You got any other layup bets for him? Justin?
Yes, I do.
No, I'm saying I know Justin had another guy. I got another one too. So.
Oh no, I don't. I'm actually setting my bingo lineup right now according to your guys' DFS.
Hell yeah. I like the Vikings -1.5 at the Packers. I'd probably take them -7. The Packers are fucking trash. We don't need to get into it. There's no game plan ever. The first half, it's going to be a slow start. The Vikings will get up 14, 17-0, maybe 17-3. And it'll be kind of tough sledding coming back. So I don't see things changing. I know on Lambeau Speak, I was saying, that this should be a good game. But if the Vikings play like they did Monday night, it will be like 40-0. That was the best Vikings team I've seen in a long time. I don't know if that's, like I said, a standalone thing, or if that's how they are. I don't want to give credit where credit is due, because I hate that stupid horn they blow in Minnesota more than anything. It's not the fact that I don't like the Vikings. I'm a Packers fan. That goddamn horn drives me crazy. I fucking hate that thing. So, yeah, but I like Vikings -1.5. Rich?
Yeah, so I was looking at the Atlanta and Tennessee game and everything. So I was debating on the kick, because I wanted to go do something kicker and everything. So a couple things real quick. Young Hoku, extra points made, over and under 1.5. I don't feel like between this game that there might not be any touchdowns at all and everything. So I don't really want to take the under, because obviously it can happen and everything. So I went with the easier one, where Young Hoku field goals is over and under of 1.5. So I am taking it over, because I look for it to be a field goal kind of game between these two, especially with Will Levis playing and the way that defense plays for Titans. I think this is going to be a low scoring game. But there was also a field goal made neither and stuff at +3,000 and everything. I thought that was kind of interesting too. And I was like,
Look, Hoku's he's good though. But it's in Tennessee.
I agree. It's not so much about him. It's about the teams in general.
He's in Tennessee, right? That's where the game's at.
I think so.
That's not good for Ritter. He's like 32-0 at home his whole career. Not so much on the road. I guess I should have swapped my bet, but I can't go with Bill. I'm not ready for betting on Bill Levis yet.
All right, I have one for you guys.
Yep.
So there is I believe the over on this is 12,500.5 people will now place a bet that all games in the NFL, all teams in the NFL will kick a field goal in the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games. And I'm going to take the over that more than 12,500 people make that bet now that it was on USA Today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going because we talked about it.
Oh yeah,
That's
well, yeah,
probably it,
that's
actually.
right. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I'll take
Rich,
the over.
let's hear your beat the bandito.
Oh, imagine that. I'm typing in rival and Dutch Schultz isn't a player. Thanks, Nate.
All right, so um, we are
Sorry.
in week 8 of Beat the Bandito. I posted the results earlier today in the Patreon chat. I am currently sitting at number 5 right now at season rankings and stuff. Fantasy Guru is kicking everybody's butt. He's getting it. I feel like he's just kind of spying on me, watching my lineups. So I'm not posting them in there no more. If you want to come see what my lineup is, you got to come watch our show and stuff like that, and sneak a little sneak something from me. So week 8 lineup for Beat the Bandito: Lamar Jackson at QB, Austin Eckler at running back, Adam Thielen at wide receiver, going tight end to match up with the Lamar Jackson. For tight end, I'm going Mark Andrews, and then at flex, Mr. Jamar Gibbs.
I expected it to be just straight up Lion stack today.
Well, I've already used the majority of the players, or it would have been that.
Okay.
Because the key about Beat the Bandito is once you pick a player, you can't use them no more. I've already used Jared Goff. I already used Amon. I've already used Sam Laporta and stuff like that. So that's the reason why I got Jamar Gibbs on here.
I like what Chris said. Yeah. Why would we? That's fucking stupid. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't think I have time to rant about Shane Steichen. I'll just have to tell you about it later, Justin. Basically,
right.
I was just mad that he was like trying to drive down the field 85 yards against the Browns defense at the end of the second or end of the first half. He fumbles the ball, they score, and then they do it again, gives them like a 4th timeout instead of just running the ball and running the clock out, giving the ball a minute left. It was just kind of some poor play calling. He does a lot of good things. I don't dislike the guy. It was just like, come on, dude. Like, I feel like you didn't have like your thinking cap on there. Like, you know, it was just you shouldn't have given him the opportunity to score like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the fumble. It is what it is. Like, that'll happen. But all the passes, you know, you're just stopping the clock for no reason. And
I agree for sure. I guess I'm just comparing it to what the Colts had before, where we would just stop running the football after JT got X number of yards in the first half, and then start playing prevent defense in the second quarter when we were even down by 3. Like, I never understood anything about Frank Reich, and I was excited about that hire when we got him.
Me too.
But you know, it is what it is. But no, the Colts did enough to win the football game. We all know what happened at the end. It's part of football, I guess. But hopefully they find out that ref was on the take.
I love Jim Irsay, by the way. After what he said, he's the man. Yeah. I love Jim Irsay. God, I love that guy.
For those of you that don't know, he pretty much said, "Yeah, the NFL apologized to us and said that there were mistakes made during the Browns game, but I'm not allowed to say that."
He said it wasn't just their game. He said they made mistakes everywhere. Like, it was like he's just shitting on all the refs. He doesn't care. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, before we get out of here, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/ToadsTitles. Check out the website, toadstitles.com. Get in our Gilded chat. Try to win a free Yeti cooler. Happy Halloween. Got anything else before we get out of here?
Let's go do a little trick-or-treating.
Oh, God. I'm so over that. I love it. But thanks for tuning in, y'all. Justin, thanks for